Hey everyone, GrimmChorizo here. This is Ringside Predictions, where I give you my predictions for the upcoming pay-per-view. We've got Battleground this Sunday, and we just had the WWE Draft. Raw and SmackDown have their own specific rosters now. It was a hell of a draft. You can check out my Wrestling Roundup video here on the Vortex to hear more about my thoughts on the draft. But today we are talking about Battleground, so here are my predictions. Charlotte and Dana Brooke, both on Monday Night Raw, teaming up to take on Sasha Banks, also on Raw, and a mystery partner. Now, going into this, I thought for sure that the mystery partner was going to be Bayley. However, Bayley was not drafted during the draft. That doesn't mean that she can't be the mystery partner. They could have been saving it as a surprise and didn't want to waste a pick on someone else that they could have used. So, there is a chance it could still be Bayley. However, I don't think it's going to happen. I'll be very happy if it does, and if it is Bayley, then that would assume she would probably be going to Raw as well. However, I'm going to think that it's going to be someone who is already on the Raw roster. I think it's going to be Paige. The two worked together about a month ago to take on Charlotte and Dana Brooke. Now, I know this is a lot more anticlimactic than a big surprise, and I hope I'm wrong. I like Paige, but it's definitely not the big surprise when they could have just flat out said it was Paige. But for this, for the sake of not going too far out, I'm going to say that it's going to be Paige and Sasha Banks teaming up to take on Charlotte and Dana. They're all on Raw. It kind of makes sense, and they teased it a month ago when Charlotte and Dana were attacking Paige. So I think that Sasha and Paige will actually get the win over Charlotte and Dana. This has nothing to do with the title specifically, so I think that Sasha will make Charlotte tap out. This will lead to a match, one-on-one, Charlotte versus Sasha Banks for the Women's Championship at SummerSlam. The other women's match on the card, a SmackDown match. We have Becky Lynch and Natalya both representing SmackDown. And this feud's been going for, what, about a month? Natalya turned heel and has been attacking Becky, and Becky's been attacking Natalya. Now they're finally going to have a match. I've been going back and forth on this one, but I think I'm going to go with Natalya gets the win. These are the two top women on SmackDown now, and I think that this feud isn't over. Natalya will get the win here, and this will carry on longer, where Becky will get her revenge. Six-man tag team match, the New Day versus the Wyatt Family. Now, I'm a little disappointed here. When they started this feud, I've been into it the whole time. I loved how it started. I loved how Xavier Woods was scared of the Wyatts. I loved how they went to the compound and fought. But now, the New Day is on Raw with the tag titles. Braun Strowman is on Raw, but Eric Rowan and Bray Wyatt are on SmackDown. This match isn't even for the tag team titles, and that made my interest go down a lot, because I was very excited to see the Wyatts get a meaningful win and a tag team title reign. That's not going to happen here because it's not for the tag titles, and the Wyatts are being split. I mean, you could say the Wyatts could win this so that Bray gets, to look strong going into SmackDown, hopefully being a main eventer, but I think the New Day is going to win because when you think about it, the New Day is still a unit. They're still on Raw, they're still the tag team champs, and they're not going to be defending against the Wyatts at SummerSlam. They'll probably be defending it against, say, Enzo and Cass, who are also on Raw. So I think the New Day will get the win, probably pinning Eric Rowan. And then, because the Wyatts are going to be split up anyways, I think that this will be a catalyst for that. Bray will probably, I don't know, there'll be something where they split or something, because Braun's going to be gone anyways. Rowan will be on SmackDown, but he'll probably do his own thing. So I don't think that this is going to, break up the Wyatt family, per se. I just think that because they didn't win the match, there's going to be tensions. And the New Day will retain, well, not retain, it's not for the titles. They'll win because they're still together and they're still the tag team champs. The Miz defending the Intercontinental Championship against Darren Young with Bob Backlund. Now, I know a lot of people have been super entertained and really happy that Darren Young is getting this big push and that he's doing something of worth. I'm excited that they have done something interesting with him. It's not really that good or exciting to me. I'm not a big fan of Darren Young. I really haven't been, other than when the Primetime Players started however many years ago, 4 years ago. I did like them then, but since I haven't really been fans of Titus or Darren doing their singles things. And I'm not super stoked that Darren is going to be challenging for the Intercontinental Championship on here on Sunday. So my prediction, sadly, is I think Darren Young, who is on Raw, will take the Intercontinental Championship from The Miz, who is on SmackDown, which will bring the Intercontinental title to Raw. So like I was saying, I'm not a big fan of this because I'm just not too into Darren Young. I think that the pairing of him and Bob Backlund, it's kind of entertaining, and maybe it'll grow on me, but I don't think it's something that needs to be an Intercontinental Champion. It can be that low card, just you know, it's just not doing it for me. But like I said, it could grow on me. But I think, unfortunately for me and anyone who agrees, that Darren Young is walking out with the Intercontinental Championship and bringing it to Raw. Rusev defending the United States Championship against Zack Ryder. Rusev, United States Champion, is on Raw. Zack Ryder, the challenger, is on SmackDown. Now, this goes back to what I was just saying. I think that Darren Young from Raw is going to take the Intercontinental Championship from The Miz, who's on SmackDown, to Raw. So I think the same thing's going to happen here. I think that Zack Ryder is somehow going to get the win over Rusev and take the United States Championship to SmackDown. Now, the reason I think they're going to do this, because they could easily just have both men, Rusev and Miz, retain, right? The titles still stay split on Raw and SmackDown, but I think they're going to do this just to make things interesting. They're like, oh, you thought the Intercontinental was on SmackDown, you thought the US was on Raw, boom, now it's different, just to mix things up. Even though, as much as I like Zack Ryder, I don't think him beating Rusev for the US title is the smartest decision. I think Rusev could hold this longer and then lose it later on, and I think that The Miz could hold his title longer and drop it to someone, not Darren Young. But my prediction here is that Zack Ryder is going to win it, just to go along with this, because they're not going to keep the US and Intercontinental on the same show. So if Darren Young wins, Zack Ryder's winning. If Miz wins, Rusev's winning. That's what I'm going with. But I think Zack Ryder will probably win the US title, not hold it for very long, then drop it, and now Mojo Rawley, his tag team partner from NXT, is on SmackDown, and they'll do the Hype Bros thing here on the main roster. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Both men are on Raw. I cannot believe it. I thought for sure that these two would be split up, and I was actually looking forward to it. I love both these guys. I love the feud that they've been doing, but here was a perfect time to end it. Because my question is, they're building this like the end of their feud. How does the feud really end if they're both on Raw? Let's say Owens wins, which that's my prediction. I think that Kevin Owens will get the win. He's pretty much won all their matches except that one on Raw that was kind of a fluke roll-up thing. But I think Owens is going to win here. But what's going to stop Sami Zayn from attacking him on Raw? They're on the same show every week. If it would have made more sense if Sami had gone to SmackDown or Owens went to SmackDown, and then they could have picked up their feud next year or whenever they're on the same show again. I'm not going to complain, though, because, you know, I'm all for more of them. Maybe they'll even team up again, and they'll put their differences aside. But I'm very excited for this match. I think Kevin Owens is going to get the win. I'll definitely not be surprised or disappointed if Sami Zayn gets the win, but I feel like Owens is going to move up into the world title and main event scene, where Sami Zayn will probably move into the cruiserweight scene, because they only have like 4 cruiserweights on Raw at the moment. Another 6-man tag, The Club, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson versus John Cena and Enzo and Cass. I'm actually pretty happy that they're doing this, because it's not another AJ and Cena match, because you know you're getting that at SummerSlam, and they're holding off for it, which is good. So Cena and AJ Styles have both gone to SmackDown, while Enzo and Cass and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson have gone to Raw. So the Club is broken up, I guess you could say. I mean, they can still be together, but their leader, AJ Styles, is on SmackDown, while the other two are on Raw. However, Finn Balor is on Raw, who, in Japan, Bullet Club was formed by Finn Balor and Carl Anderson and later Luke Gallows. So it kind of makes sense that Balor Club might be getting together on Raw. I don't think this is going to happen here on Battleground, though. I think that Cena and Enzo and Cass will get the win, probably pinning Anderson or Gallows. This will lead to Cena and Styles on SmackDown at SummerSlam, representing SmackDown, I should say, and then Gallows and Anderson versus Enzo and Cass over the next coming weeks on Raw. Enzo and Cass will then go on to feud with New Day for the titles. That's what I'm thinking. But I do think that Finn Balor will align himself with Gallows and Anderson on Raw, and we'll see the new club over there. So yeah, I think that Cena and Enzo and Cass will get the win here because Styles got the win on Cena at the last pay-per-view, and I think at SummerSlam, Styles will beat Cena again. And then the main event, the Shield triple threat we've all been waiting for. Dean Ambrose, the current WWE Champion, defending against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. This is a match that has been in the making forever. I mean, since the Shield debuted in November 2012. Glad they're finally doing it. Was a little disappointed they didn't do it at SummerSlam, but I understand now because the draft, the brand split. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are on Raw, while Dean Ambrose is on SmackDown. Now, I think that the title is coming to Raw, so it's going to be Rollins or Reigns. I've gone back and forth on this. Will it be Reigns? I mean, he's their golden boy, but he did just get suspended. Is he going to come back and win the title right away? I mean, they have to know he's going to come back to thunderous boos. And Seth Rollins is their top heel at the moment, and Ambrose is on SmackDown. So I'm not exactly sure what they're going to do, but my prediction here is that Seth Rollins is going to win the title. I'm not sure who he's going to pin. It could be Ambrose, but that kind of, makes you think there's going to be more to Ambrose and Rollins when they've kind of closed that book for now. But maybe he'll pin Reigns, and this will lead to one-on-one at SummerSlam. I think that the Raw main event of SummerSlam will be Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the title, so either one could win, but just for my prediction, I'm going to go Seth Rollins wins. The WWE Championship goes to Raw, and the World Heavyweight Championship shortly after is brought into SmackDown, maybe through a tournament, and it is determined who's going to win it, and Dean Ambrose or Cena or Styles or Bray, one of those four probably gets it. But I think WWE title going to Raw with Seth Rollins winning the triple threat on Sunday. So those are my predictions for Battleground. There's also the highlight reel with Chris Jericho as Randy Orton as the guest, which there's not much to predict other than I think Jericho is going to eat an RKO. But other than that, it's just going to build up the SummerSlam match between Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton. So thanks for watching my predictions here. Let me know if you agree, disagree, and let me know what you think about the draft down in the comments below. We'll have to tune in next week, see what happens on Raw and SmackDown now with this brand extension. And be sure to tune in next month for my predictions for SummerSlam, which will be a joint pay-per-view of Raw and SmackDown. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.